Hello, how are we today? I can't tell. Looks like it's not going live, so I'm just going to keep talking until I am live. There we go. Hello, Sarybot. Sarybot is here. I wanted to be a tailor, but I didn't suit the job. Oh, my thing isn't showing up. Hold on. Ah! All right. Might have to do a little adjusting here. Okay. Apparently my game is not showing up. What am I doing wrong? Oh, I see. There we go. Woohoo! Shaking my hands up in the air. All right. So, I did a thing today. I went out and I got a super cheap controller that was to Nintendo. That's the plug-in kind for streaming for us, but I didn't get it out of the box and get it going again yet. I'll be able to do that by tomorrow. But I said I was going to do a Steam game, and I spent 45 minutes looking at Steam games, and I didn't pick something, so I'm just going with something that's already on the computer. I had various reasons. I've got food in front of me. I'm hoping to eat and not bug you guys too much with that. So I thought this page was kind of interesting. We have sarcophagus. Apparently this is not interacting. Shiba on walk, calico cat, dragon tattoo, comfy tea, blooming blade. Some of these look kind of cool. Oni mask. So, and this one would probably be almost perfect for Tomas here, because it says meow, and that's what he loves to type in chat. But I probably don't want to do that one because it's so big. Unless it's over multiple streams. So, if anybody pops on and has an opinion, I will be very open to that. But if not, I'm just going to eat for a minute while I wait for somebody who feels chatty to pop in. And then we'll go from there. Yeah, I think that soup is starting to go a little bit off. I made it like a week ago, and I haven't got around to eating it, and I was like, "Ooh, finally!" Now I'm like, today might be its last day. Might have to give it a more thorough cook. Not interested in food poisoning myself or my kids. That's weird. You know what, guys? My food didn't cook properly. I'm gonna be right back. I wish I had a be right back screen, but I don't. But I will be right back. Nobody's chatting it anyway. And nobody's chatting yet, so that worked out. Ding ding ding. Ding 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 goes a jolly. Cling 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 goes a bell. Oh gosh, that's an oldie. Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first morning. Alrighty, here I am. Let me get my headphone-y things back, although they don't really matter for this game so much. Boo, boo, boo. Here I am. And I am not back because my rig isn't working. Hello, rig. I messed it up. Let's try again. Uh-oh. What did I do? Okay, maybe, why can't I get this working again? Oh my gosh. This boy, this is not awesome. So that's not showing up. Now it's showing up, but I can't get my... I don't know what's wrong with... There we... Okay. That's working. So why isn't it working on... But I'm not... It's not following my camera? Alright, let's try again. I'm going... Oh, there's my emotions. Why is it not... There we go. Well, apparently I'm going to be very stiff today. I don't know what that's about. Alright. It's been almost 10 minutes of nonsense. I can't get my rig to move. It's moving.
Give me a second.
I did 7, I did 1, I did it.
That's not the problem. Yeah, let's first, because we're going to have to do a little bit of work here.
I have.
Oh, the camera died.
Oh.
So you have to go back in. And I'll see if I have to unplug and replug. Or if it will just be fine. And then I'll put it back up on here as well. Alright, come on. Alright. It's all good. Alright. You'll want to adjust from there, but... Oops, we don't want that. I mean, people know we use VC base, but...
Okay, apparently I'm back.
Yeah.
And I got a flingy, yeah?
Yeah, and then it'll be here. Here you go.
Alrighty. Well, that was an adventure.
You might have to reset because it's on me, but
Yeah.
other than that, it just was the camera.
Okay. Well, this is just quite the stream so far. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Tomas, hi, Art and her mom. I'm fine. How are you? We are fine. Thank you. She's saving me. I'm having everything go wrong today. How are you? Nice to know that you're fine. So I was looking at these. We have a Shiba, a calico cat, a sarcophagus-y thing, a dragon tattoo that's pretty elaborate, comfy tea, a blooming blade. Any preferences? Oni mask, that's way massive. That's more than one stream, to be honest. I thought of you with this one, but this is so big and only white and a little bit of black. 6 colors at 160 and 195. That could be like 3 or 4 streams. Dragon, maybe. The dragon tattoo. This one. It's pretty cute. Boom. Oh, that'll be neat. Looks good. So how are you? You are fine. Tomas, I think my brain, it's done. It's just done. All right. Boop. Actually, I'm doing this in the wrong order. That's bugging me a little bit. Same. Your brain is fried. Welcome to the club. Yeah, I started out, I was talking to people. Then the game wouldn't show up. Watching anime, procrastinating, doing school stuff. Procrastinating, doing school stuff. It feels like that might not be ideal. So what kind of school stuff are you avoiding? I'm sure you'll get to it eventually. Boop, boop. Math, but also economics. I'm gonna be really honest. I actually love economics in reality, but the way schools do them, I feel is not very fun. Not about having to be fun per se, but they don't connect it to reality. And economics are such a big part of reality. I think it's because so many of the teachers don't understand how economics connect to reality. But there's some really cool economists out there. Unfortunately, in school, you kind of have to study what your teacher wants you to and give that for the answers. Whether that's even up-to-date information or not. That used to drive me insane. Yeah, especially the program I use. Yeah. I'm sorry. I remember with Artie one time. It was driving her crazy. Her teacher was so wrong on something that she chisholmed on. And she knew. She knew way better than her teacher. And she could have taught the teacher quite a bit. She had better, more up-to-date sources than the teacher. And I finally had to just tell her, you gotta decide. You're gonna tell the real truth and get a bad grade, or you're gonna give the answer your teacher wants you to and just accept that your teacher's stupid. Which isn't a popular thing for parents to tell their kids, but this teacher was stupid. In the end, she kind of tried to teach her teacher the real truth of the matter, and then she gave up and went with the good grade. Because she cared about her grades. History is the only class I liked. English was the worst. Yeah. English can be such a fun topic. I think they just yeah, I probably need to not be talking about education too much. I hope at some point you come across it in a way that it is truly as enjoyable as it can be, and you get to really see what it could be. Yeah, probably not. Yeah, sorry. I'm trying so hard to be a good girl. I'm trying so hard to keep my mouth respectable, not offend half the internet, but I also want to tell the truth. So there's that. My kids had some wonderful teachers over the years. I had some wonderful teachers over the years. But I do feel the wonderful ones are fewer and farther between than they used to be. I think my best teachers were the ones that loved what they were teaching and would have taught it to strangers in the park if they weren't teaching it to us. And they just were so enthusiastic and could not be enthusiastic. And that's contagious, that enthusiasm. I think that is a magical and wonderful thing if you ever get a teacher that feels that way about the topic they're teaching. As long as they're well informed. That matters too. History teachers are the best, at least here. I think history can be so fun. Yeah. What can I say? Part of it, I think, is in America, there's this assumption that you either do know English or you don't, and they don't really teach it. So it's like, why am I wasting my time here? I've been taught the same rules about nouns every single year for 15 years. I either understand it from the way it's being taught or I don't. That's not helping past maybe 2 years in. And I think there's no acknowledgement of that. and no change, no adaptation. And there used to be different things that you were taught with each progressive year. And they expected you to progress and learn and expand on your knowledge and understanding, and you could use your own language better. Crazy, I know. Why do you need 4? Especially in high school. I agree with you completely. I think in the old days it made sense because you studied different things each year, okay? So you had to get your basis on your grammar, how the language is used, how to do, for example, essays versus paragraphs versus test questions versus short stories. I don't know, just a variety of things like that. But you'd also have to learn things like diagramming sentences and literature. We had to study different literature every single year. It had to be real literature, books that were meaningful to in our language over time. Just like if I was studying Spanish, we would study literature for Spanish, we studied literature for English in English. And I think it was a real disservice to start focusing more on newer and more popular books and things like that. I think seeing the history of your language and how it's been used to present makes it more valuable and makes it something you can appreciate more. That's just my 2 cents. But 4 years, the way they teach it, what a waste of time. You literally sit there and go through stuff that they were teaching you in kindergarten without very much more detail. And they haven't really changed it dramatically from year to year. And I don't know. People are smart enough to be bored, or they're not going to learn in that environment anyway. At that point, you fish or cut bait, you know. I'll give you one. One of my best friends was half Mexican, but he had never lived in Mexico. He had lived on a reservation. He had not lived in Mexico. And he could not speak to his grandmother. I would translate for him when he wanted to talk to his abuela and his grandma. And I wasn't Mexican, but I understood his grandma and he did not. And he kept trying to take Spanish, and they wanted to only give him Spanish speakers, and it was not a first language for him. It had never been spoken in his home. You want to talk about messed up. So supposedly he was supposed to go into it for a first language when it wasn't, but then English speakers are supposed to take 4 years of basic. Either language is relevant. I don't know. It just hurts my head thinking about it. I could go all day long on this one. For one thing, we need to teach our kids that their time is valuable too, and with respect. You want the kids to value their time with you, you should treat them like they are of value and worth teaching. Yeah, I think my school is slightly better than that. Well, that's good. My school was better than that, but that was things, not a lot better, but it was. Well, unless you're talking about yeah. We did do literature still. By the time Artie went through, they were doing a lot less literature. And by the time the younger 2 went through, I had to fight to have them do any literature at all. They did all their literature with me. I made sure my kids had literature. But I think part of the problem is one of the things they used to have you study was the Bible. And then they made that about religion, like, oh, that's religious, but really it was about language. Like, if you're in another country and English is not your first language, a lot of times they are adamant that you study the Bible, not because they expect you to become a Christian or a Jew or any of that. It's because they expect you to learn about the culture and the language. But then we tell our own kids that we don't want to study that in school because it's religion. But it's not about religion, it's about culture. And you can separate the two. You don't have to teach them to believe in these things. You could just say, this is how language works in the past, in the present, and here's stories that things are based on, like you can show a progression of, here was the story in the Bible, and here was the story in medieval England in a different way, and here was a story in early America with a tall tale. Hello everyone, hope all is well. Hello Gore, how are you? I wish philosophy was an important subject, grammar-based and learning to understand things deeper. My world history teacher went over religion and he was Christian. I think that it's good. We had a class called World Religions and we went over all the religions, including Christianity. I thought that was extremely valuable. We went over Buddhism, we went over Hinduism. But they had this radical idea. Bring in somebody who was Hindu to teach us about Hinduism. Bring in somebody who was Jewish to teach us about Judaism. Bring somebody who believed in Islam to teach us about the Muslim faith. Crazy, I know, radical. So that nobody was represented in a way that they didn't feel good about, but it wasn't to teach you the religion, it was to teach you about what these other people believe. Because we have lots of religions and cultures and languages here. Anyway, I love philosophy. I think I would say I would be 100% for every single high schooler in America having to take Aristotelian logic properly. But that's a whole other topic. Hot takes with a hedge, Mom. What can I say? I knew I was in danger of saying things I shouldn't. Up here we learned about world religions. I thought they did the same down there. They used to, but more and more they don't do it in a way that's just learning about it culturally. Yeah. They're so busy trying not to be offensive that I personally feel that becomes offensive. But that's a whole other thing. I guess I'm a teach about all or none if it's going to be a school thing. Because you've got kids from multiple. We always had some Hindu kids, and we had a kid who had to go take his prayer rug to a special room he was given, and he prayed X number of times a day at school, because it wasn't all 5 at school for the Islam. I don't know, I think variety is good. What can I say? I think the exposure is good for us. I see, most schools are Catholic, so it makes sense to me. Yeah, my history teacher said that he had a teacher that said, if you don't believe in God, get out. Really? Yeah, I've had kind of teachers that have kind of said the opposite in the past. Like, you're not a serious student if you're actually religious. You have to smile and nod. I am a Christian. I mean, I'm not gonna hide that. But I don't make that everything that I'm about in that way. But yeah, if you were openly religious in any way, a lot of professors in particular will discriminate against you for that. And this was even when I was young. I'm sure y'all are Hylian believers. There you go. Heck yeah. Helia for the win. Get me that Hylian shield. Ah! Come back here. Boop. Tomas, Link. Yes, Link. Alright, so I went to go check out. I was going through all those games and I was going through the sale on Steam. I spent about 45 minutes trying to go through it, but I just didn't have time to download or get anything running on the computer in time to stream, so I just gave up and did this. Now, Ganon, the goat, huh? Now, I did go make a little purchase today because I'm the mama and I'm annoyed. So I bought just like a $20 Pro controller that's Nintendo that plugs into the, it's not the remote kind. And then I'll get that set up today or tomorrow. And hopefully that will solve our issues. I didn't want to spend much, so that's just a cheap little one, but I felt like we're gonna want the new Switch. They're already talking about it and getting super excited. How much do you put into this one, right? At the same time, it's less functional every time we use it. It's driving me insane. Link, Ganon, Suna, you got me there, Tomas. You got a new controller for the Switch? So cool. Finally that drift issue should disappear. I'm hoping. Now we'll find out if it's a user error. But no, I mean, when I mash the button, it just gets stuck and then it's freezing up. That really kind of feels like a controller issue. So hopefully that will help all of us in our Switch endeavors. I didn't get new Joy-Cons. They cost like 80 bucks. I only spent about 20 on a, like I said, the kind you plug in the old-fashioned way. But that's how all our old controllers were anyway. It doesn't bother me for it to be physically attached to the system. We'll see how my kids feel about that. I don't know if they've ever had one that was attached. They're like, oh, it shouldn't matter. We'll see how they feel in a few weeks. I mean, I doubt they would complain. They're not complaining kids, but yeah. When your movement is hindered and buttons stop going clicky click, it gets rough. It just gets frustrating because it's one thing to be legit losing and you feel challenged, and it's another thing to, you pressed it 15 times and nothing happened. Yeah, that's where I get frustrated. And they just live with it. I went to Walmart and got a new controller. So arguably they're better people than me. I grew up with wired. Yeah, the controllers are better than Joy-Cons, 100%. I always liked it. Our old joysticks were always wired. I don't know, like we were lucky to have more than 3 feet from the system. I don't know. That's why I did make sure this one has like a 10-foot cord so it'll fit comfortably when we're streaming on into the system. Yeah, play 1 foot from the TV. I still preferred wired controllers. I think there's less, I guess they call it lag now. I just feel like they're more reliable, but I don't know how much is just because I'm old school. I mean, let's be honest, I was my parents' remote control. We had one, but it was like 3 feet from the TV, so you'd tell the kids to go up and switched the control between the 3 channels. It was such a big deal that we had a remote. I look back now and I'm like, why did we even bother with that thing? Latency, yes, that's a good, yes. Yeah, play one for the TV. Latency does start to bug me. I'm going to be really honest. So how was your day, Gore? Tomas is fine. He always starts with that now, so I don't have something to ask him when he first comes on. Makes conversing very difficult. But yet, it makes it very efficient because I already know he's fine. And then my brain has to adapt. Latency and input lag infuriate me no end. Yeah. Those are the things of rage. Heck yeah. I do the same thing with the children. Oh, do you? Nothing fun today, Tomas? No scratch ticket wins, no free coffees won, or anything? I think I'm getting better at picking these things for a stream. So what we're thinking of doing, not much, mowed the grass, and my grandparents and their properties felt bad about missing hedge stream, but I got home not long ago, needed to sit down. Yeah, of course. Cat fell from the porch roof if you need something interesting. Oh dear, I'm doing good, I'm feeling great. How about you, Wyvern? I'm doing pretty good. I just, how shall I put this? I just decided to be very careful what I did today because I felt like today's a day I was going to run my mouth in the wrong way. So I'm trying to do something that doesn't trigger me running my mouth in the wrong way. And then Tomas got me talking about the educational system. Is the kitty okay? Yes, the kitty's fine. You're mopey today. I'm mopey, I'm sorry. Yeah, I can't really talk about what's bothering me because there is something, but it sort of would be doxy, so I can't. But, it's not a big deal. It's, I'm such an upfront, honest person. I'm struggling. Point being, I saw something today that was very disturbing, but it wasn't any of us. We're all fine. Yeah, he just good, just in shock. I'm guessing it's about the Pope's passing. It's all right. Oh, thank you. You know, I saw a really neat video about that actually from a Romanian guy. He's an atheist, but he's Romanian, and he was talking about how important the Pope is to everybody. And it was kind of a neat little video. Poor kitty, I hope his paws are okay and all. Yeah, I do the same too. I'm too honest. Yeah. Yeah, how does... I would say, you know what? Our cats fall sometimes. You know what they do? You know who's bad about it is Katsuki, not Suna. She'll go up high, and she gets super comfortable and she's watching everything, and then she gets like hypnotized and falls asleep, and she falls. We have to get her down before she falls when we see her falling asleep. We're like, you know you're a cat, right? Like, you're not supposed to fall like that. Oh well. Yeah. It's weird to see a cat just fall. So you said you looked through some of the game suggestions. Anything fancy your attention? A few of them were interesting. And put the thermometer in you know where. I'm curious. Gore is curious where. No. I'm so glad we don't have to take our temperature that way anymore. It's still the most accurate way, I think, but bleh. I'm not looking at them right now, Gore, and my brain is an absolute sieve. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I sat there, I went through them, and that's part of why I didn't pick one, because I'm like, the second I wasn't actively looking at it, it was back out of my head. I don't know how to tell you. My brain, for animals, yeah. I think my processing is shutting down at the moment. I'm kind of done. But I wanted to stream to chill. I needed to stream today to chill. I feel, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, for animals, it's probably the most convenient, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know. Why are we taking animal temperatures? Let's not. Bleh. Yeah, Gore, at least you got the mowing done. I need to go get some more gas so I can get the mowing I need done, because as soon as the rains start, it will grow, well, like we're in a tropical environment, and it's going to be like a freaking rainforest. If I don't get it cut down before then, I'm in big trouble. But I will, and I love mowing. I really do. I actually do. Confessions. I love it. There's something very satisfying about it. It's hot and sticky, but at the same time, it's so nice. Do you buy it by the gallon gas? Heck yeah. Has it been warm for you guys today? Up here it was hex blazing. It was hot. It was starting to get humid, so we got that kicking in, but it was probably at least mid-90s. And I definitely had to stop and hydrate way more often. It's fine now. We'll definitely get worse. Yeah, it will. But see, here's the thing. Once the rainy season starts, it kind of gets better, because even though it gets so hot, it will rain when it gets to the hottest point, and everything cools off. And right now, the rain hasn't started yet, so it's just hot. It just feels miserable. And I'm a baby. I'm used to, we have our lovely warm weather, hot weather, and then the rain cools it all off. Why won't it click? There we go. I'm spoiled. What can I say? I was hoping there wasn't a heat wave or something, southern and all. I don't know. It's just normal for this time of year. I'm surprised it stayed cool as long as it did this year, to be honest. Usually, if there's a lot of cold over the winter, a lot of cold snaps, we have a super hot summer. El Nino, La Nina, all that stuff comes into play. I don't really care. All I care about is my personal comfort. Gosh, I hate mobile. I bet. I want to rain more. You want to rain more, Tomas? Do you rain a lot? Or do you want it to rain more? This is turning out kind of cool. Dang typos. I'm fine with it being the dry season a little longer. Once it starts raining, it will make up for all the time it didn't rain. We'll probably have a rainstorm every day. Rain is peak life. Rain can be nice. See how cool that's turning out. Ooh. I like that this one actually looks like something earlier on. Like the poop picture, even after I finished, it didn't completely look like something. It was so fuzzy, but this is good pixel art. It's actually got, like, it should start looking like something before you've done 2,000 of them or something. That's my hot take. It turned out cool looking. Haha, were you using typewriters when you were in school? Yep, Dwagon. Yes, I was absolutely using type. In fact, my mom was very into technology. We got a very fancy typewriter. You could back up and correct 2 spaces on the whole page, on a given page. This is an early word processor, I guess. But for some reason it wouldn't do more than 2 on a page. But it had a special white tape. It would go back. You didn't have to redo the whole page each time if you just made one little error. But yep, I loved using a typewriter. I loved dot matrix printers too. I'd take them back today. As much as people complained about them at the time, our ink and paper lasted like forever. We did not have the issues that people have today with their printers. That's all I'm going to say. The more they fixed them, yeah, they couldn't do photographs and stuff maybe, but by golly, they worked. I feel like every time I go to print anything, the printer doesn't work. I gotta get a new stupid printer. It drives me insane. Oh my goodness, that's insane. I love typing, actually. I think I still have some real typing paper around the house somewhere. I came across it and I showed the kids. I was like, look, it's like tracing paper almost. I had forgotten that it was thinner. Typewriters were so overpowered, they literally had to contain their powers digitally in the keyboard. There you go. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, this is really cool. Tattoos can be really cool. Personally, don't want one. But some of the art for tattoos can be absolutely gorgeous. Don't care if someone else has it or not, by the way. I don't personally want one. How were the microwaves? I mean, a microwave was a microwave, but they were a new thing. Oh my gosh. When they came out, and you had the houses where they really wanted one, and the houses where they like, oh, we would never use such a thing. And nobody could figure out what to do with them. And there were all these cookbooks for microwaves. So many cookbooks. People trying to learn how to use them. I kept some of my mom's because I thought that was kind of cool. That nobody would even dream of needing a cookbook to do things in the microwave anymore, but Suna tattoo. I don't think Suna wants a tattoo, honey. He might cry. What would you put on the poor little Suna? I do wish I could lock in a color once I had it right. That would be nice. Ugh, I keep undoing. Right, let's see where we're at. That's coming together so quickly and nice. Now see, that's what pixel art can be. Very cool. Why cookbook? Is it like instruction? Put art on Suna. I don't think Suna wants art on him. Because when they were new, nobody knew how to use them or how were they useful? How long do you cook things? What can you cook in there? What is it useful for? What is it not? Heck, they didn't even know don't put metal in there. That's going to turn out crazy good with it colored. I think so. I think this was a really good one. Tomas picked it. I remember my grandma, what she would use it for is she would make what she called emergency cupcakes. And this was her favorite thing about microwaves. And we joked about it for years because she would make emergency cupcakes. If anybody came to her door, she'd let them in and tell them to sit on the couch for a minute, and she would immediately be making what she called emergency cupcakes, which I'm going to be really honest. Yeah, not the best, but it was so important to her to always have a baked good or when somebody came by. And as she got older, this let her always just make something right as somebody came so it would be fresh, and she loved that. So she always would make, as soon as anybody came in the door, she'd go quick and she'd make emergency cupcakes. It was so cute. Cupcake. Can they teach me the secret of Hot Pockets? Well, I'll tell you the first secret. Don't cook it as long as they tell you. They're so busy trying to make sure they don't get sued for food poisoning. You want it hot. You don't want it to be burnt to kingdom come. On the other hand, I don't think I've ever cooked a Hot Pocket, so I don't know that you should listen to me. But I mean, on the packet instructions in general, with the microwave, I usually start lower and then go up. I'll be like, why do I need to reheat this can of soup for 10 minutes? I could cook it from scratch that way. But I'm just a judgmental old curmudgeon or whatever. Curmudgeon. My brother used to make Hot Pockets a lot. Oh, I think he lived on them when he was in college. In high school. He was always hungry for Hot Pockets. He probably still has them in his house right now, I bet you. This one's really well thought out. I'm pleased. I mean, I don't think the artist could care less about my opinion, but they have my begrudging approval. Yes, I have the same makeup mom that you are, I think. Oh, do you? I'm not sure if that's good or bad. I think food should be cooked. I don't think it needs to be. And if you want it wormed, worm it. But if it comes out like looking like leather and steamy and weird, no, that's not pleasant food at that point. Look at how it would look if you cooked it in the oven or on the stovetop. If it comes out looking weirder than that, then those instructions are wrong. Adjust. Charcoal black, nah, yeah. I was watching Guga. I was looking at it and I'm like, darn. My grill, the gas lines broke. So I gave away my propane tank because I couldn't use the grill safely anymore. I had tried to fix it and it got worse. And I don't want to blow up my house. I'm funny that way. And the charcoal side just never circulated the air nicely. So I was like, well, I'll just live without it. Now summer's coming and I'm thinking, do I really want to live without it? Do we really need a switch? Do we really need a new computer? Barbecue, very good. Unfortunately, I have discipline. But don't you think food that's cooked outdoors on a flame tastes so much better? Heck yeah. And why is that? Like if you're out mowing all day and you're all hot and sweaty and gross, you'd think, oh, hot food, not great, but you take that off the grill, I bet that'd be a happy moment. Do you really need multiple cats? Why, are you trying to take Suna away from us? I didn't want any cats. My friend tricked me. They were supposed to be barn cats. But they earned their way living inside. That didn't take. Oh, there we go. They're all litter mates, so I would not separate them. They've been together their whole lives. That would break their hearts. They would kill you. I don't think they would kill me, but I think that would be sad. I mean, I don't know. Call me old-fashioned. I believe in having stewardship over my animals and teaching them life is one way and then saying, yeah, we don't want you anymore, and throwing them away just doesn't really fit with my whole vibe. It's one thing if there's like a need or a problem, or like let's say one of them became having some kind of horrible health issue with something in our house and they really couldn't be okay here anymore. I don't know what on earth that would be, but then of course you're going to help them find a situation where they are healthy and good. But yeah, I don't think we're going to get rid of any just for sheer number. Like, who would we get rid of? Suna's lovely. Renren's lovely. Katsuki's lovely. The Sana is an absolute dear. Best mom? I don't know if that makes me the best mom. I don't know. Like, if I take responsibility for something, I'm responsible for it. I think that matters. This cream color for number 5 is kind of cool. Anyway, I did this so I could eat while I did it, but I haven't been eating. Oh well. Alright, let's get that back. Dwagon at you? Are you winning, Wee Chan? My bad. Oh, Dwagon. Dwagon, do you see what I'm doing? Hold on. I gotta back off. Let me get and then I'm gonna back it up. Alright, here we go. What do you think? Hello, T. We doing all right, Dwagon? Oh, that's an Asian dragon. Those are flying noodles. Hey, baby doll. Ooh, Brazzy Bite. Best hedge. Never thought of it like that. I'll be honest. When I was younger, I stylistically didn't like them as much. Their beauty has grown on me over the years. I do think that there is beauty in the Asian dragons. But I am probably more partial to the Western dragons, I'll confess. To me, they're more like swimming. You know, like they're swimming through the air or the sea. So yeah, I think of them as far more serpentine. Zelda made me like them. Fun fact, if you look at the older written records of Chinese legends, the serpentine dragons were originally more like giant frogs. Hey, Dwagon. Oi, sorry, went AFK. Hello, G. Yes, but they have fossils that look more like these dragons. And these are really cool when people dance in them too. There's pros and cons for different things. But I thought the giant froggy ones were different. I mean, I thought they were still dragons, but I thought it was different, like a different kind. But I will say that they seem to promote this type of dragon more now for public consumption. But I thought there was, I don't know. I haven't studied Chinese dragons in a while, I'm going to be really honest. The fact that I ever did is probably weird. But yeah. I used to be really into looking at the different fossils from different areas and the quote-unquote dragons from those areas. The one that got me the most interested in that, like I was interested in mythology and I was interested in paleontology, but when they found the Quetzalcoatlus with the actual feathers, and it looked like the pictures from the temples, and they're going, oh, they made this picture from what they saw on the ground all the time. And I'm like, really? Because we only just found it. So that's kind of weird. I feel like I went over wrong. Yeah, no, I did not. Okay. Dragons 1000% actually existed. Dragon Ball is making the serpentine dragons more popular than the other ones. Yeah. I guess for me it's kind of like the don't believe your lying eyes. I mean, if you want to say, oh, although they have found ways that they might have been fire breathing, oh, they weren't fire breathing, they weren't this or that, they didn't have magical powers, they weren't walking around with wizard hats, I could go there. But I do think we have enough evidence that there were consistently dinosaurs, that we call them now, in areas that looked like the quote-unquote dragons from those areas. It's kind of a bit of hubris to sit there and go, their observations were meaningless because they didn't use our modern word or see it the way that we do. I mean, I guess that's my hot take. Dragon Ball is making the serpentine dragons more popular than the other ones. Ah, that makes some sense. But I think the Chinese government would rather promote the more serpentine ones, to be honest. But I don't know why. I'm sure there's reasons that I'm not privy to. I don't get a lot of direct questions for how to proceed from them, I gotta be honest. Like, never have. Oh, great Wyvern, how shall we make the government work today? Yeah, I've never had a contact like that from the CCP, gonna be really honest. Sorry to disappoint. If they ate a flint rock and had it stuck in their mouth while also having saliva that had acidic-like properties, it's not unrealistic to assume a human observed a fire-reaching dragon. I might be crazy. No, there are absolutely things that people have described. Forgetting that, I'll give you one. When we get bog fires, breathing, yeah. We get bog fires. And if you've ever seen one, swamp fires, bog fires, whatever you want to call them, it's like, okay, you know a propane grill? Like you turn it on at first and there's just that little like lick of gas up. except it'll look like hazy little gas popping up from the ground here and there. But if the ground is moist enough, it doesn't automatically catch fire. If you have a big old lizard in there, and then you come in and you see little bog fire things coming up on around it, I mean, I could totally see feeling like that creature did it. I don't know, I'm not describing it well. Forget it. But I mean, look at the kinds of places where these creatures live. I think the coolest one for me, okay, we'll go cryptid for a minute here. We're not talking about dragons. We're being very scientific, and we're going to talk about cryptids, right? One of the things that I thought was really, really interesting is that they started realizing it's possible and probably likely. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to say, you can be, look, people can walk through fire. It's a thing. So being in the swamp and not dying, if there's a little licks of bog fire going up around you and it just hasn't turned into a full-blown thing, I could see that. Anyway, I don't know. There's probably some scientists out there like, what is she talking about? But I don't know. But one of the things that I thought was the neatest was, wow, my kids used to be especially hedge, but they love, studying about the Loch Ness Monster and stuff. And I always was like, hey, we'll study anything. And when we came across finding out how many similar water creatures were across the planet at the same latitude, and then if you go to South America at the opposite latitude, not South America, southern hemisphere, there are similar water creatures in likewise deep glacier water that people talk about. Does that mean they exist now? Not necessarily, but you have types of creatures that are consistently described in the consistent areas across the planet, and we don't even really look at it as though maybe, even if there's not something now, maybe there was. Maybe people encountered something in these zones and we just have kind of, memories. I don't know. That's the kind of thing that I think is really cool. I mean, when I found out there was more than just Nessie and it was all these northern places, then I found out it was southern hemisphere places too. I'm like, well, that's kind of weird. Weird. Sorry. That Chat GPT song stuck in my head now. My kids keep listening to it. Anyway, if you know, you know. If they were intelligent, they would have likely known to hide, I would think. Yeah. You don't even have to be intelligent per se. I mean, if a creature survives, it knows how to hide. We have panthers, but they don't come out and wave their tail at us, In this province, we have a story about the bird people that stole the food from the part of villages where the locals stored their food after hunting. Ah. Cool. Yeah, it's not specifically there, but there's the giant sloth down in the Amazon forest too, right? You've got things that it's like, or the giant snakes. That, like I said, when I heard that the proof that they can't exist is that it has to be more than 70 degrees for more than 3/4 of the year, and I'm just like, yeah. And? What makes you, Mr. Scientist, think there's nowhere in the world like that? Have you not looked at the world? And the answer is they only look at where they're from. They would steal food and then they would leave. I thought you were supposed to leave food specifically for them to steal so they don't steal what you don't want them to? I don't know. I'm not... It feels like it's tickling my brain, but I don't know if I'm just making it up on the spot. Maybe I'm mixing it up with something. Like, not the same, but like with brownies, you used to want to put a little dish or saucer of milk or cream. It had to be real cream outside your door so they wouldn't cause you problems and get into your stuff. I thought there was some, I don't know. I don't know. I've studied so many of those things, but a bunch of the ones, if they weren't here, I didn't study them in English, so I don't translate good at all. I am so bad at translating. I don't translate good at all. I like think there or I don't, and my brain just sort of freezes on me like one of those Microsoft Windows screens, blurb, and it goes all blank on me. It blue screens of death on me if I try to translate. It is not my gift. That's why I really appreciate people that are good at that. You know, it's one thing to think or talk in another language one way, but translating is a specific and important skill. I am missing 2 squares out of the whole thing. Oh crap. But it looks great. Oh crap. I did that with the kids a few times when they were little. When we'd be reading fairy tales, I'd go, do you want to leave a little dish of cream by the back, out the back door, just in case? I'm evil. I believe my children were born so I could mess with their heads. That's why God made them, right? I had to have done something wrong. Ah, here we go. Boom. There we go. That turned out really pretty. Alright. Easy game, easy life. Oh. Okay, so what I started to say before, I am so distractible today. I'm so sorry, guys. What we think we're gonna do, we've been kind of debating how to do this, because the only way to collab with Steam games is to share your Steam account, but it's my son's account, and we all use it because we were using one computer, and family sharing didn't used to be a thing, and now all the money is in all the games on that account. You get where this goes. So we're slowly starting to get some new, like Artie just started a new Steam account to start getting some of the games that she likes, so when they're on sale on her account. But what we decided is if we're going to do collab-y things with other people, we probably need a Steam account that's dedicated to just being public, if you will, like, so that you guys can share and it's not doxy for anybody. I don't know. That's what we're leaning towards at the moment. So then we could do things like Plate Up. That sound reasonable? I mean, because we've had issues before where on games where you have to make someone your friend, but then we don't know how much access that gives or whatever. So we were thinking if we just did it on an account that's just, plus we don't, okay, Atlas has not told his friends that he YouTubes, so he doesn't want his friends to find out that way. And that's his business to share when he's ready. I just want to see you guys play and collaborate with each other. Plate Up a split screen, haha. It could be fun. The biggest issue is because it's one computer and we're all sharing it and there's 4 of us. Pretty much 24 hours a day there's somebody on the computer working on stuff for streaming or videoing or editing or programming, and there's somebody sleeping. We have a few times a day that we've set up to be family time for us, where everybody's awake and together at the same time, but we kind of operate like a boarding house at the moment, so that gets a little complicated, but it could be fun, and we have talked about it. Alright guys, sarcophagus, Sheba, Calico, Discoid Duck, Comfy Tea, Blooming Blade. It's alright, my sleep schedule is messed up as well. Gore, your sleep schedule is so messed up. Oh my gosh. You're an arty stream? Blade, you got it. Okay, this I can tell you. Modern life, okay? They get funny about weapons, right? So, where I work, we practice, yeah it is. where I work, there's a 0 tolerance for weapons policy, right? But at the same time, we constantly need knives and things, okay? And I just openly carry things on me. That's all I'm gonna say. And I'm not shy and I don't hide it, but I don't put it in the supervisor's faces because I don't want to be fired, but at the same time I got to do my job. Yesterday, no, not yesterday, 2 days ago, no, at the end of last week, I leaned over at work and let's just say something against the rules fell out of one of my pockets and skittered across the floor and landed at the feet in front of the supervisor of the moment. And they just looked up at the sky and said, hurry up. And I came and grabbed it and stuck it back in my pocket. Such silly things. In real life, that's awesome. What a badass. Up here, we aren't supposed to, but I carry. You never know. Did they accuse you of being a weapons dealer? I've already solved it. First of all, what fell out was just a knife. One of them. I had several on me. But they didn't accuse me of that. They couldn't acknowledge it or I'd be fired on the spot, wagon. But, yeah. I just decided if they ever confront me on it, I'm going to say it identifies as a pokey stick. It's a tool that identifies as a pokey stick. Duh. Why not, right? Yeah. I just think it's silly. I mean, like when I was younger, people literally would have guns at school. I mean, they just would. And we did not have problems because everybody knew how to use them, and they knew if they pulled it out and tried to use it, someone else would pull out theirs and shoot them. So there was balance. It's not that nobody ever tried, but the problem was always dealt with immediately. I'm with you, Gore. You never know. But I'm where I live isn't the problem. It's just that this particular place has had things decreed upon them from other places. I am not the most egregious offender. That's all I'm going to say. And none of us are secretive about it. We think it's silly. Florida's kind of Second Amendment-y. That's all I'm going to say. But that doesn't mean that you go make a big deal, like, throwing your arms at the, yeah. She get ready to attack, but most importantly, she enjoys snack. There you go. Heck yeah. Protect is right. We gotta protect ourselves, we gotta protect our loved ones. But also just plain old tools. I mean, come on. Like, on the farm, can you imagine going around without even a few knives? I mean, come on. What a waste. What are you gonna do? Carry around 15 other tools instead? I don't know. Maybe I'm just ignorant, but, yeah. It's like, then don't ask me why there's a shovel next to the chicken coop. That's a cool race name, Protetion. Oh, that is interesting. Writing it into the lore. There you go. Yeah. Originally, I was thinking more like with apothecary stuff, but protecty stuff too. That's why I like that there's the Wyvern plane. Have you ever seen a picture of the Wyvern plane from, I think it was World War II. Might have been World War I. Very cool. It's a sexy little plane. I've always liked it. But then I'm a weirdo. When I was a little girl, my poor mama just shook her head. Other little girls would have like strawberry shortcake and Holly Hobby posters. I had attack helicopters up in my room. I had this pretty pink canopy bed, and on the panel in the middle that you look up at from when you're laying in bed, was a huge poster of an attack helicopter. The first time she realized I had done that, she's just like, what am I gonna do with you? This is not how girls were supposed to behave. Oh well. Nobody could ever make me not be me. So you were one of the cool kids. I don't know, but I was something. I don't know. I just was always me. I was in whatever group I wanted to be in, but I never was like, nobody could convince me to be cliquey or stay with one group. I always wandered between lots of groups and just did as I pleased. I don't think anybody knew how to contain me. And it never crossed my mind anybody wouldn't like me. And if they didn't, I'd be like, well, that's their problem. People did try to bully me. I just didn't care. Usually, yeah. Shovel, spade, blood sword, Garthian, the cosmic annihilations, great axe, all do the same job to protect. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Different shovels for different jobs, that's all I'm gonna say. I mean, I hate having to do it, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. But just so I don't sound completely horrible, when rehoming is an option, that is what I try first. And I'll leave it vague like that. Let's see here. This is going to be so pretty. Ooh. Oh my goodness. So tomorrow I can play Switch again. Should I try to do the Luigi's challenges to see if I can get the remote to work, or do you guys want me to go try to do the Link's Awakening? Because I've had things in both that have just not worked with the current remote, and the drift has been insane. So if you have a preference between the two, I would go in and, because I'm not going to do them both at the same time. Purple is a very nice color with gray. What the heck? I tell you what. You know, tell the truth. Most knives are really pretty. Yeah. There's an elegance to them. When they're made well. But there's some really pretty ones that are like, I would say are only good for artistic pieces too. Like if you've ever been in the Tower of London or something, they've got some really pretty ones. For ceremonial purposes, I guess. But I can't imagine the balance is right with a bunch of gemstones and stuff on it. I have a feeling you'd enjoy Luigi's Mansion. The new ones cannot be that bad. Up to you. I'd enjoy any of them. I just need to... I want to go in to both now and see if the controller makes the difference. I am concerned that Link's Awakening is just flat out glitched and it's not a controller problem. I guess the question is, do I check that on stream with you guys or not? Because I know you like to see everything, but if the game is truly glitched, I don't know how much further I take it, because the shield would not respawn in only one room, and that doesn't feel like a controller issue. That feels like a glitch. And I could read up and see if there's like a patch I need, but the Luigi's Mansion was totally the remote. And if it's not the remote, I'm just a failure. And I don't know how to press buttons. And I don't know what to say about that. That could be humiliating, but I feel pretty confident that I know what happened. Professor E. Yeah, that guy. Okay, we'll go get Professor E tomorrow. Boom, boom, boom. Oops. Okay, tell me the truth. This color right here, that's like the old chewed up grape bubblegum. Yeah? That's what I feel like. How does it turn out pretty in things? Huh? That's weird. Because I personally have never looked at chewed up bubblegum and said, oh, that looks pretty. Pretty it is. No. Not remotely. Alright, number 7. Let's fix you. Bloop. I felt so hot and sticky after working outside today, Gore. And dirty and dusty. But I'll give you my meter for how hot. It wasn't quite hot enough to feel like it'd be a nice idea to pour the hose on. I still wanted to come inside to get cleaned up. I gotta learn how to use that pattern in Minecraft now. What, like this? Like with the glass, you could get that color, right? Or cement. I mean, you recommended the game, so you could totally go in and steal it. I'll show you where it is before we log out here. Or you can go look at the VOD if I haven't. But it is neat how they came in and they kind of half herringboned it, but not completely. The gray and purple, yeah. It's shades of gray and purple though. That's what I'm saying. You might want to actually, like, you could actually look at the colors here, right? And compare. But look at that. Like where you have that effect where you have glass over something, that'd be kind of cool. It's a little different, but it kind of, pardon me, it kind of reminds me of that big sword that was in Impulse's base last season. Except I think the coloring was different, but when he was the dwarf, I'm having trouble thinking, I think. Oh my gosh, my brain isn't gonna last a lot longer, but I am so glad I did this. I needed to chill tonight. Boop, boop. And then I'll try not to rage quit Luigi's Mansion tomorrow. That'll be fun. I think part of what makes it work is to have the greenery by it. Like, this is pretty alone. But I do think this helps accent it somehow. That is awesome looking. Ah! Someone needs some tea and chill time. Oh, heck. You know what? I'm having a little bit of coffee right now. I'll have tea next when I go off stream probably. Because I hear it in my voice. I probably should. Starting to sound all croaky. Put a little honey in there. I have soup in front of me that I had made, but I didn't get to right away. And soup is always better the next day, right? Well, it turns out a week later when it's been in the fridge, sometimes it can get a little bit of a funny flavor. So I'm not eating that right now. I think I'll cook it a little more thoroughly before I do, just in case. I had good intentions. I usually get to things right away, but it's Easter and I am a mom and I'm human, guys. I'm a wyvern, but I also have a human side. What can I say? Ooh, I like that. The shading on this one's really nice. Drinking tea right now. Oh, I'm jealous. Okay, Dwagon, what kind? Like proper, just straight up tea, or English breakfast, or Irish breakfast, or Earl Grey, Lady Grey? Mate? Mate's good. Haven't had that in a while. Black tea with stevia sweetener. Can't go with the stevia sweetener, but black tea is lovely. I do rather like it. Stevia always makes my mouth feel tickly and upsets my stomach, so... But it did even way back, like when it wasn't used as a sweetener, it was just like, happened to be an ingredient in some teas as a leaf. Like sometimes I'll put in catnip or mint or something in herb tea. I think stevia just, probably a little bit allergic. Not a lot. It's not like I'm gonna die if I have it or anything. But it does make my mouth tickly in an uncomfortable way. Oh. Now you're making me want tea, Dwagon. That sounds so nice. You guys. Now see, I wouldn't have thought that Gore was a big tea drinker. I'm a little surprised. Or he just knows I am. Oh my goodness. This one's going really quick, so I kind of want to finish it, but I'm getting yawny. I'm sorry. I think we lost Tomas. Haha. Yeah, I'll have chill time. Don't you worry. I just feel like I haven't stopped going for too long. I just know you guys too well. Coffee and beer and jewelry alert, lol. Yeah. Now we were teasing Hedge over Easter. You turned 21 this year. What do you want for your 21st birthday? She goes, but I don't like alcohol. Yeah. She goes, well, not beer. Maybe an Irish coffee. Maybe I'll try one of those. I said, well, that would be a very nice choice. You have time to think about it. I'm going to hop on the PC. Hold on. Hey, autocorrect. Okay. Oh, because enjoyer. I understood. I corrected it. It's okay. Did I read it wrong? I thought I read it right. You're good. I hate autocorrect too, by the way. I really, seriously. Like when it sits there and you don't realize it's on and you've sent off a text message or something and you look down and realize it corrected it after you pressed go and it now does not say what you said. Sometimes it says something that seems pretty bad. That's less of an issue anymore. That used to be an issue more when it was newer. Make her a donut and cook it in whiskey. Oh, that's smart. I just don't want to sound like a donut. Yeah. She used to love my homemade donuts, but now she swears she's never liked homemade donuts. She only likes cheap ones from the store and has never liked the ones that I made. The autism, it is strong with this one. If you cook it in alcohol, all the alcohol evaporates quickly. So no alcohol left. That's smart. If she's going to be legal drinking age, light whiskey is a good try. Light. I'd give my kid Jameson straight up, baby. No wimps in this house. What is light? How can it be light? I mean, it's whiskey or it's not, right? Like, properly. Isn't there, like, a required alcohol content to even call it whiskey? Now you've got my brain spinning. Anyway, she'll decide what she wants to try, if anything. I usually give them a little token something. I think that forbidden fruit is a lot more likely to be abused. That's my personal opinion. 30%? Maybe, yeah. I like Irish whiskey. Although not so much the one brand. Maybe she wants to drink the blood of her enemies. Now that I could believe. Maybe she just wants to drink blood of any nearby cow. We won't make her wait for it to hit the grill. That kid. As she sat there downing the ribeyes at Easter, my dad was like, she really doesn't let a single drop go, does she? Like, never has. She eats her steak very well. Oh, this, yeah. But does she have enemies? Does she have a secret life I don't know about? I think this is coming on pretty quickly and pretty well, actually. There's that purple combo in there again. This little thing, is this carnivorous? Hot darn lady, good job. Oh, heck yeah, she's carnivorous. Yep. Of all of my kids, if any of them ever goes full carnivore diet kind of thing, it will be her. I guarantee. And I don't know how healthy that is for everybody in general, but I do think we're each built differently, and I think for her it would not be bad. But she'll do what's right for her. She's working really hard to remember to eat some green stuff occasionally now. She's trying to be healthier. I've talked about it before. When she was little bitty. Oh gosh, we had so many digestive issues with this one. And she just didn't properly digest her food, so the doctors were very involved in everything she ate, her input and her output, and we'll just kind of leave it there. And they kept trying to experiment with what could she eat, what could she digest. And the first time we put a flank steak in front of this kid, I had made a huge one for the whole family. She wasn't even 2. And this little thing just reached over, took one bite, and we just would not stop eating. We all just watched in shock and awe as she ate the entire family's dinner. And then was ready for more. It was like over 3 pounds of steak. And we're like, where did it go? So I've always made sure that she has some steak around, because we know that that was one of the things that she could always digest, which is counterintuitive from what we supposedly know about nutrition, but like I said, we're each different people. I could die trying to drink the vinegar out of my salads. That was Atlas. I called poison control about him a lot. And one of the calls, as they said, hello, Mrs. Such and Such. They knew me well at that point. He never died, by the way. Was because he took my cleaning vinegar, sat down in the middle of the floor when I turned around for 2 seconds and drank like half the gallon. I was like, but he was fine. It didn't hurt him. It's in her blood. She's born to be a steak monster. Heck yeah. It is. It truly is. That's just how God made her. Beef, lamb, she likes venison. Not too fond of chicken. She's never liked chicken. Pork does not agree with her. Poor guy. Now we know why he is a robot. He left his mortal flesh behind and now exists mostly as a cyborg. That's awful. Yeah. Let's just say we never had antibiotic soap in the house, because he would have died. But it was the autism, because the flavors are different for them. That can be an issue. I felt like such a bad mom every time he actually managed it, but it just, you can't even blink. On the other hand, I was always right there, pulling it off him, stopping him, whatever. I guess other moms might have been in another room watching TV, not paying attention, so I guess there's that. I'll make myself feel better that way. Yeah, death isn't good for your health, thank goodness for that. Yeah. No, it's not. It's really not. I promise they were supervised and loved. I mean, that's just life. Still, as a mom, it didn't feel good. It really didn't feel good. First time you call poison control and you realize they remember you. This is not a good feeling. Ah. But it's just the texture and the sensory and everything. I mean, we were learning. It's not like I knew immediately how to help an autistic kid who was nonverbal at the time. It was such a blessing when we realized he knew sign. He taught himself, by the way. We did not teach him. I don't know how he picked it up. I don't know where he picked it up. I had to go get lessons so I could talk to him. But I did because I cared. And I wanted to know what my son was saying. I wanted to know if he was hungry or thirsty or whatever. It appalled me to find out how many people have kids that sign language is their primary language and they don't even try to learn. It just baffles my brain. It's just like, why would you not want to know what your kid is telling you? I don't know. I don't know. That's deep. Deep thoughts. Deep judgmental thoughts. I think I'm feeling judgmental tonight, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying so hard. I'm like, I knew I was in a mood. I was like, should I? Nah, but I really want to stream tonight. I feel like it. I'm so strongly opinionated. I'm sorry. It's okay. Completely non-artistic kids are eating Tide Pods for fun. You did awesome. She's sassy today. Woohoo! Yeah, that's just it. I mean, my kids never did anything like that. I mean, it was more like helping them learn the most basic stuff. Like at one point, he would only eat frozen round things. That was fun. And yes, I did find him helped himself into the freezer, the strong little beast, to a frozen burger that was raw. He didn't die. I was just like, oh my gosh. But I think he was okay because freezing is kind of like, that's what they do for sushi to get rid of bugs. Still, again, I was like, yeah. He's so sweetie. He'll eat anything now. He's my least picky. The girls aren't really picky either, though. That's not fair. Yeah, sassy. Sassy and classy. Woohoo! Yeah, I need to get gas so bad for my mowers. Thing is, I gotta remember to put the stupid cans. Okay, I hate those plastic stupid cans that we have to use now. If I'm gonna get in trouble for opinionated, sassy opinions, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna make it worth it. Those stupid, useless, plastic, leaky things. You gotta take the spout off just to use it, because, yeah. All your kids seem to be amazing, in my controversial opinion. I think they're pretty amazing. I'm partial. I think they turned out all right in spite of myself. I tried to teach them to be decent human beings. I never let them have excuses for things like not learning to read and stuff like that. I was here. Okay, take care. Kenny, you sneaker. Hydrate and stretch. I've been hydrating, but I do need... Here, let me see. Oh, I got some more coffee. Hello, Kenny. I'm trying to make it more slurpy so you hear about it. I don't know if that worked. That might have just been weird. So do we need to update you on anything, Kenny? Are you all up to date? You've been lurking? How's your day been? There we go. Yeah, I won't use the same chair that they use. I use a wooden kitchen chair, and I got a big old stool out in front so I can stretch my legs out. I'm always stretched when I'm streaming, man. Then I can just change my position slightly and stretch out my legs really good. I don't know how they just sit all scrunched up. Maybe because they're young. Hello, Gore. Hello. More what? Kenny, hello. Nah, no need to update. I wasn't lurking. Extreme busy these few work days. Oh, fair enough. Well, Gore's been mowing his grandparents' property for them. And Tomas is procrastinating on his homework so that he doesn't have to do it because he's annoyed with his teachers for math and economics, but he's gonna do it anyway because he tries to be responsible. And Kenny's a workaholic, as per usual. I think we got everybody caught up. Someday Kenny's going to be a millionaire. The rest of us little plebes are going to be down here going, yeah, you worked hard, but, you know, how come you're doing so good? Kenny's got success in his blood. That's a good thing. Y'all just make sure to be okay. Yeah, I feel ya. We're working on being okay. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how you do what you do sometimes, Kenny. It's gotta be rough. Hopefully we are a nice distraction. You deserve it. Kenny, the 21 Tycoon Lee. There you go. Hey, working hard, there's a value in that. I feel like I work hard and then I see Kenny and I'm like, I'm nothing. He's in a whole other league. How do you know my name? Oh. We've been spying on you. We've been reverse tracking you through your... I don't even know what to say. Something funny. Ha ha! I think my brain is shutting down, Kenny. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little silly. Dinner is ready. I must vanish. Dwagon, I hope dinner is delicious. Enjoy. Bon appetit. Eat well, Dwagon. He's got his own cheering section. Yay! Dwagon gets to eat. Woohoo! Yay! Oh, he's not going to see the end of the knife. You know, he does this. He picks the thing, and then he disappears, and he never sees the end. And then he'll be like, I didn't see how that turned out. I'll show him next time I'm on here and he's on here. Nameless is the real struggle buster out here. Oh my gosh. Nameless. Always complaining he does nothing. And he is always working now. He is working so hard. And he feels like it's not of value. I feel so bad, but at the same time. Dude, you work hard. We see that. Enjoy the meal. Me also eating at the moment. There you go, multitask. I think Gore said he was going to eat something too. Oh, maybe he was just talking about food. I don't know anymore. I'm starting to lose track. My brain is starting to drift. So I got a new controller, Kenny, for the family, but I haven't hooked it up yet. So I'll do that either after stream or later. So hopefully we'll fix our drifting problem, because it's driving me insane. It's just the cheaper kind of little plug-in kind, but it's still Nintendo, so hopefully it'll work for our Switch. Improve the content experience, although maybe y'all like it better when we fail because our remotes die, but you know, I don't. It's not my favorite part. It's funny once or twice, but as a pattern, maybe not so much. Yo, hello. You're back. Wasp? Okay. Try not to get bit by a wasp. That doesn't feel very nice. Although some people use it as treatment for arthritis, which is completely random, but I've seen people talking about that. I don't know why they do that, but I imagine they have a reason. Yeah, I'm back. Okay. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're probably coming to a stop soon because I'm nearing the end of this one. Zoop. Ah! There we go. Still, it doesn't lock it in. Oh well. Why isn't the 4? There we go. There we go. You didn't reply to me on Discord. Well, I did tell you I wasn't going to reply to private messages. And that I wasn't going to reply to advertisements. So there's that. So what you eating today, Kenny? Let's see here. There we go. I sent you my artwork. You told me to send it. No, I did not. I told you that if I was going to pay for artwork, I would get it from my kids, that they all do it. And in fact, I just accidentally walked in on one of them preparing a birthday present for me. But they all do really nice channel art, and I told you I'm going to use my kids if I use somebody. But that you are welcome to join the Discord if you wanted to talk about video games and stuff. I'm not going to purchase art, and I'm not going to be doing that. Nor would I have forgotten that I said that. Dwagon made me hungry, so I grabbed myself a sandwich. What did I miss? Ah, what kind of sandwich you having? So you're eating, Dwagon's eating, Kenny's eating. I think we have a theme. No, I'm not going to check it. And if you keep asking, I'm going to have to ban you. What games do you play? No. She's playing, I'm trying to make them buy my art, even though they told me very politely and nicely no. No, I'm busy. Oh man, I got bologna and cheese with some pickles. Pickles sound so good right now. Oh my gosh. You know, I'm not the hugest fan of pickles, but after you've been in the hot sun, there is nothing like them. And I hate potato chips, but have you ever had those pickled potato chips? Like I said, after you've been outside, it can be really nice. 24. Alright, we're getting there, Gore. All the numbers are starting to blur for me, unfortunately. I gotta finish before they all turn into the same number. Lamb and secret food at the moment. Ooh, lamb sounds... Oh my gosh, lamb sounds so good right now. I think I might be getting hungry. I'm not gonna eat this late, I'll be so sick, but oh. Lamb. I might have to see if I can find some good lamb at the store for a good price this week. Hook my kiddos up. Maybe lamb burgers? Haven't done those in a while. I hope the secret food is super yummy. I could go for a nice fast friend slab of veal. Boy, darn it, guys. I know, man. Now I'm just... My brain, it's wandering. It's going... now I want venison, too. I haven't had some good venison in so long. Gory, you're in mountain country. Surely y'all have good venison. Well, I don't know about mountain. I mean, like up north. I guess I think of everything up north as mountains, but I have no idea what's really up there. I've never been. In Canada. You gotta understand, we leave the border for Florida and the first thing we have is mountains. Ooh, that color of gray comes in really pretty. Venison and elk, yum. I've only had elk once. It wasn't as good. It was kind of lean, but I suspected that the source wasn't the best. I kind of suspected that they'd cleaned out their freezer on us while telling us it was fresh elk that they had just hunted, if you catch my drift. I suspected it was from a previous year's stash. Which is fine, you know. I'd have been grateful either way. Ooh, that's turning out really, look at that. I like that. You're gonna make me start at the barbecue after Stream of Lord. I know, you're making me want to go buy another barbecue. Oh, do we really need a computer? Do we really need a new Switch when the new Switch comes out? Pshaw. You know how they tell you to do the bubble test before you run your propane? The last time I started up my grill, it was bad in one spot, so I replaced the hose, and then every single connection started bubbling, and the hose itself. And like I said, that one, the charcoal didn't have enough air that I felt like that it ever really got the heat it needed to do a good job. Now I'm thinking, I've been watching Guga and I'm like, ooh, yum, 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 barbecue, yum. I need a new grill, but it's so at the bottom of my priority list. I don't need it. I can cook without a grill. Screw the barbecue, gonna go light my smoker at this rate. I'm tempted, man. Ooh, get like a nice brisket in there or something. We were watching, if you go look at Guga Foods, he was showing all about picanha and the different ways to cook picanha. It was a video this week. I sat there going, oh, that looks so good. He was showcasing a grill that can do charcoal, propane, and infrared. And, like, I don't have the money for it. And, it has a turning spit to do the picanha the traditional way, too. How crazy is that? Somebody invented that, and they sell it. Genius. I'm tempted, man. Yeah. I don't know. But elk, like I said, it was kind of dry compared to venison. I don't know. But I suspected it was the source, not necessarily the elk. We like bison too. But of course we only get bison if it's frozen, because bison is not going to naturally be in our area. Well, same with elk, but Now I'm just sitting here thinking about meat. Reaction Google stream win. Oh, that would be fun. I don't know how to do it. So many people react to Google streams though. Like, you know what we actually do is we'll turn around sometimes and we'll copy his experiments. Not the crazy ones, but some of the easier ones. And we always tease Hedge because Enjo is the only other person we've ever seen who just flat out tastes green. She always knows if there's something green in it. Always, except she likes avocado and he doesn't. Ooh, I think I'm almost there. Almost there. There we go. Voila! Yeah, guys, guess what? I caught Artie baking me a birthday present. Yay! She was trying to surprise me with some channel art, and it is so pretty. But I can't let her know I saw it or she'll stop because it won't be a surprise anymore. Boo, allergies, doggy. What? Allergies? Really? It looks like hibiscus to me. Are you allergic to hibiscus, Kitty? Or to doggies? And how do you get doggy out of the dancing dinosaur? And I thought that was a cat. Is that the Doge and I'm not seeing it right? Oh. Have I completely gone blind? Oh. Oh. Oh gosh, I'm stretching out my back, sorry. I started to hunch over at those last bit. Oh no, Whimsy becoming a 1,001-year-old soon. No. I'm just twisting my back around. My back's actually pretty good. I mean, not that I don't have my share of ailments, but I think for someone my age, I got a pretty darn good back. Knock on wood. One does not age with zero consequence. Anyway. I hope you guys all had a really good stream. And tomorrow will be Luigi's Mansion with the new Switch controller. Now, I haven't actually used a Pro controller style, and this one's a Pro controller style, so there will be a learning curve at first. But I can figure it out. I'm clever enough. Why is my figure... That's weird. It's offset. I have to look all the way to the right to make it look like it's looking straight. I gotta reset the stupid thing. I've been buffering so bad, I bet I'm delayed. You might be. I'm sorry. I'm not doing anything super duper exciting. That was pretty though. We did the, here, I'll show you the dragon we did. We did that one too today. Very chill and peaceful stream. Had a great time here. Hope you get to relax and enjoy the night. Yeah, I will. That just was nice. And if you check out, it's the Blooming Blade one on... Oh, gosh, I didn't know all this stuff was here. Community 7. So if you went and looked, the picture came out amazing. Yeah, but if you go on your Pixel game, it's the Community 7 Blooming Blade, and then you can look at how all of the grays and purples go together up close. Oh, it doesn't let me close it up after I've done it. Okay, well I tried. So you could maybe just screenshot, but if you want to make those colors in Minecraft, you're going to have to figure it out. Anyway. Oh, now I'm starting to yawn. I'm sorry, guys. I think I better go before my brain shuts down and I'm still on stream. The picture came out amazing. It really did. I think these came out really good. I was pleased with both of them. And they weren't too big. Like, I tried really hard to make sure they wouldn't be insane. I thought that one could be fun too, but a cartoony sarcophagus, I wasn't sure how that would look when it was done. This one looks cool, but that's like a 3-stream one. Alrighty. Ooh. I'm still buffering and seeing the image. Oh, okay. She's about to end it off. She tired. Yeah, I started yawning. I'm so sorry. That's so rude of me. I was good until my body started to say, you're done. I'm sundowning, guys. I don't know. That's a problem. Anyway, I'll see everybody tomorrow. I hope everybody has a really good evening. I hope you enjoy your evening. Yawning isn't rude. It feels rude. Now I'm yawning because you said the word yawning. I'm so suggestive right now. I'm so sorry. Oh, I hope everybody has sweet dreams, dreaming of lovely meat, dripping in the barbecue and the smoker and however they like to eat it best, and you have lovely dreams and wake up very happy. Maybe you dream of having good company with it too, who knows, but maybe you just get it to yourself. Alrighty, everybody, I'll see you guys tomorrow with Luigi's Mansion 3. Ooh, I'm gonna finish before I yawn again. I'm sorry. Bye bye. Yes, dreaming of meat. Have a good one, you guys. Get some rest and enjoy the night. We will. You too. Bye.